insulin. And when that happens, more often than not, your insulin spikes. And when your insulin spikes, then you are secreting too much insulin for your system. And eventually, if you do that over and over and over again, which most people do, they get down here, their blood sugar is low, they eat something sweet, their blood sugar spikes, the insulin spikes, that brings the blood sugar down, and most Americans are doing this all day long. It's called SAD, the Standard American Diet. And when this happens, each time this happens, it is stressing the adrenals. Each time your blood sugar dips, it stresses the adrenals. Each time this happens, it is stressing your pancreas and taking you one step closer to insulin-resistant diabetic. And what we now know is that most cardiovascular disease, high triglycerides, high cholesterol, has more to do with high blood sugar and high insulin levels than it has to do with cholesterol levels. So managing your blood sugar is absolutely essential for being healthy. So best piece of advice that I could give you tonight would be, when you get up in the morning, no matter how you feel, have some protein. It could be a handful of nuts. It could be a scrambled egg. It could be a bit of yogurt or a protein shake. Have something that has protein in it. It could even be leftovers from dinner tonight, if they were good enough. Have some protein first thing in the morning within half an hour, 45 minutes of getting up. Stabilize that blood sugar of yours. And then, before you go off to work, take a baggie full of nuts or throw a hard-boiled egg in your satchel so that you can have a half a hard-boiled egg at 11 before you go to lunch at 12:30, and then you can have another half a hard-boiled egg or some almonds or some walnuts. Nuts and seeds are perfect little packages of vitamins and minerals and fats and can really help stabilize our blood sugar. But doing this keeps your brain working and keeps your adrenals healthy and keeps your insulin stable so that the rest of you can be healthy. Now, the other thing that I want you to know is that when insulin spikes like this, for a man, it takes testosterone and turns it into, guess what? Estrogen. So, you know those guys who have put on some weight and now they've got a butt and they've got, I call them breasticles. They're overweight and they have a chest. That's because their insulin has taken testosterone, the thing that makes them manly, the thing that keeps their muscles intact, the thing that keeps their bones strong and healthy, the thing that keeps them sexy and virile. It's taken that testosterone and turned it into estrogen, so they are actually having estrogenic physiological changes. Conversely, insulin spikes in women take estrogen and turn it into, guess what? Testosterone. So lots of young women are developing a condition called PCOS, polycystic ovary syndrome, which is the result of insulin spikes taking estrogen and turning it into testosterone, and then the testosterone causes cyst on the ovaries. So you can see how very, very important it is to maintain your insulin, maintain your blood sugar so that you don't have those insulin spikes, so that you don't have those dips in sugar, in blood sugar. So I'm going to be ready to take your questions here in just a moment, but I want to just overview a little bit and just tell you what chronic stress can look like in terms of symptoms. So seasonal affective disorder, chronic fatigue syndrome, fibromyalgia, hypothyroidism, depression, eating too much, craving sugars, craving salt, weight gain, fatigue. All of these are associated with either too much or too little cortisol. And there's the reference for this particular slide. Here are some of the red flags that might show up on your last blood chemistry. If you haven't had blood chemistry done for a while, you might contact me and I'll order it for you, or if you've had it recently done but you don't have the results, go ahead and call your doctor's office. Those results belong to you. Ask them to send them to you, and then compare them to this slide. Is your potassium increased, or your sodium and chlorides and glucose decreased? Those are signs of adrenal hypofunction, adrenal fatigue, in other words. On the other hand, if your potassium is decreased and sodium and chlorides and glucose are increased, as well as triglycerides, those are signs that your adrenals are in that hyper-worry state. And by the way, cortisol tends to cause us to gain weight around the middle first. So if you've noticed that your waist has increased and you haven't really, you can't really think of anything in your diet that has contributed to that. You're not eating a bag of Oreos every day, and you're keeping up with your regular exercise routine, then it's very possible that your stress and your worry is actually causing your body to gather weight around your middle. And that is the first sign of insulin resistance beginning to occur. So what are some of the things that you can do to reduce your stress level? Well, you want to avoid certain foods, chemicals, and behaviors. And concentrated sugars are at the top of that list, concentrated sugar and caffeine. I tell my patients, if it doesn't come in the package that God put it in, please do not eat it. So if you are eating a lot of prepared foods, those foods are full of preservatives, they're full of sugar, they're full of gluten. They're more than likely contributing very, very greatly to a poor state of health, or will very soon. Alcohol, of course, is a double-edged sword. Alcohol in moderation is a good thing, helps us relax. A good glass of red wine, white wine as well, has some really great things called resveratrol in them, which are antioxidants and contribute to anti-aging. But then on the other hand, if we're using alcohol every night to reduce our stress, or think we reduce our stress, then we can be causing ourselves lots of trouble. Allergic foods, the top of the list for allergic foods are gluten, that's all of your grains, your wheat and oats and barley and rye, your dairy products, soy, what I call your junk meats, and so forth. Then partially hydrogenated fats, artificial sweeteners. Folks, they're toxins. Even, what's the newest one? Not NutraSweet. Equal. There's another one now that they say is made from sugar. Well, yeah, it's made from sugar, but it has a molecule of chlorine attached. And when it gets into your body, it's not processed as sugar because your body reads it as a toxin and tries to get rid of it. So cut that stuff out and go for your natural sweeteners, honey, maple syrup. If you're going to sweeten something, go ahead and use a little white sugar or agave.
Are you referring
also, sorry?